All right, a pleasant good morning to you, and welcome to Night Moves here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, previewing the action here for Monday, January 26th. And what a day we had on Sunday, huh? We know the participants for Super Bowl 55, and well, we've seen this one before, but not in this context with the upcoming matchup at Super Bowl 55 here after the action on Sunday, of course. Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. We saw that line come out uh, right away, -4, immediately shooting up to as high as 5.5. Buyback comes in, moves it down here to mostly fives right now at this hour here, 3 a.m. Eastern and midnight Pacific on Monday, 2 weeks away from Super Bowl 55. So, look, the move has been on Seattle here following their victory over the Rams, 31-27, in a very good game last night, and also the play in the AFC with the Patriots over the Broncos. Hey, one day the Broncos may have a dome stadium, and until then, the elements played the biggest role in this one. Guys could have went either way, the way that one went down, but it was the Patriots getting the road win over the Broncos. 10-7. So we're set to go for the Super Bowl, but we got to wait 2 weeks, and then we got to wait, well, 29 weeks after that. So let's enjoy our final game of the season at Super Bowl 55 in the Bay Area there. So thank you for joining me here on Night Moves. We're going to preview the action for Monday in the NBA, NHL, and some college basketball. There have been some more time changes tomorrow. A couple NBA games got moved up a little bit, and there were lots of cancellations and consolations in college basketball for Monday. A lot of games postponed for later in the week, but we found a few matchups to look at here. But first, let me recap some of the action in the games there yesterday at the conference championships in the NFL with the Patriots over the Broncos. Denver, they drove down 59 yards for a touchdown on their second drive with that big pass downfield. It thought there for a second that maybe this Jared Stidham thing is going to work out. No fault of Stidham's, man. Everybody had a problem in that game, right? Drake May, they win the game with minimal yards passing from May. So, neither quarterback was going to do anything. Don't fault Stidham there. That was just tough sledding. The second half of the game was played in snowy, windy weather. The snow was blowing completely horizontal there for a time, it looked like. So Broncos, after that score, the rest of the game, they had 52 yards, 52 plays, 120 yards or so, and no points. So New England goes back to the Super Bowl for the first time in 7 years. Just when we got rid of Kansas City, we've got New England back. No, just kidding. We love the Chiefs. We love the Patriots. What would be a Super Bowl without them, I guess? And for the Seahawks, Sam Darnold threw for 346 yards and 3 touchdowns and a monster game out there. Seattle took a 24-13 lead on a 17-yard drive after a fumbled punt. The punt return man slipped. It hit him in the shoulder pads, and immediately that felt like the air was let out a little bit. For the Rams, Stafford threw for 374 yards and 3 touchdowns, only the second time in conference game history that both quarterbacks threw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in the game. Seattle, third down was key, 7 of 13 on third down. The Rams, meanwhile, were just 1 of 8 on third down, and that was the bugaboo there a little bit for the Rams in that one. And, of course, now the Patriots will face these Seahawks. These two teams met in the Super Bowl 11 years ago, and one of the most memorable Super Bowls of this era, if you will, is at Super Bowl 49, the famous play where the Seahawks tried to throw the ball there on fourth down, and Malcolm Butler had that interception against Russell Wilson, and the Patriots went on to win the Super Bowl there. Rams were just 1 of 8 on third down in the game. That was crucial there, actually, as Seattle converted more than 50% of their third down chances. Rams finished the year 14-6, but they weren't very good in close games, actually, just 6-6 in games decided by 7 points or less. The 8 games they won in blowouts, and those opponents were, some of them were tough, some not so tough. So the Seahawks advance there to the Super Bowl. It seems like a pretty good game. 5 points. I mean, look, the Patriots have done a great job here this season. I think people are going to look at that game and maybe forget that the game was played in the snow there. Nobody was going anywhere in that game. And are we really think that the Seahawks here are going to be nearly a touchdown favorite? Maybe so. Let me know what you think in the chat. Thank you for joining me here as we'll have our show coming up here with our previews. I just want to touch on some of the college games yesterday that did get played there on Sunday. USC dumped Wisconsin in a bit of an upset there. 7.5 point dogs in that one, as the Badgers led by 12 with 12 minutes left in the game, but USC won at 73-71 behind Baker Massara. 29 points in that one for SC. South Florida over Florida Atlantic. With a final score of 89-75 that snapped FAU's 5-game winning streak. I was talking of FAU pretty good here yesterday, but they got it handed to them, no doubt about it. Washington did get the win. We had the winner here on Night Moves yesterday with the under, as the Huskies beat Oregon 72-57. Oregon's lost 6 in a row, and they're 1-8 in the Big Ten. So welcome to the Big Ten, Oregon, here in basketball. It's been a couple years, I know, but Oregon's hit a bit of a low with Altman here, usually a stellar coach, but they're having some issues this season. Mercyhurst just held off Chicago State as the Cougars lost their 10th in a row. All right, and the Lakers won. The Mercyhurst Lakers won for the 3rd straight game. All right, let me say hello to some folks in the chat joining me here as we get ready for the action here on Monday, but also want to hear your Super Bowl thoughts in the chat. Hello to Cal Dog, Timmy Two Shoes as well here tonight. And he said, Timmy's ready. Man, 29 weeks. Hey, maybe we'll get to the CFL soon enough. I don't think the UFL is going to be I don't know if the UFL season is going to even finish this year. I guess they always do. Want to say hello to Chachi Chuck in the chat. You think he's making up names in there. Mr. Wesker's there. Hello. He's like the Rams. He said the Rams sold out in the game there on Sunday. And let's see who else. We've got Orange, the Pokemon trainer. He loves the Seahawks. Let's go, he says. Let's go, Seahawks. And there, his rooting interest there, maybe. And let's see here. Mr. Wesker's had the Raptors yesterday. What a nice performance there by the Raptors. Man, we had a big day here in basketball on Night Moves last night. We had the winner there with New Orleans and San Antonio with that under there in that one last night. And we also had the winner here on Night Moves with those Toronto Raptors. We had them along there tailing Mr. Weskers. Also winner here on Night Moves last night. So, all right, let's see who else. Just the regulars in here right now. And Tim J joining us, ready to go here for the show. All right, thanks, gang. And let's get a move on here and get ready for the action. We'll try to find some winners here. We had some hockey winners on Night Moves last night as well, including Vegas and Ottawa. I guess that game went over. That's for sure. There with Ottawa putting up a big number and a 7-1 win last night. We had the Pittsburgh Penguins here on the show as well. There, and we had the Anaheim Ducks against Calgary, bringing it home with the win last night, 4-3 in overtime. So had a few winners, had a few L's, but let's get ready to talk a little sports betting here for a Monday. Like I said, there will be some day games here in the NBA, just some time changes, if you will. I think, and kind of coinciding with the weather here. Hopefully, you folks are staying warm and staying safe as well here on Monday. So let's get to the action here with you guys. And again, we'll just touch on these time changes here a little bit. A couple games have been moved up in anticipation. I don't know what the whole logistics are on these two games, but have moved them to a daytime. We're not going to ask questions. Let's get these games in and get through this monster storm here, and hopefully everything will be back to normal. Thaw out here and get rolling into springtime before you know it. All right, let's go here first to our matchup with the Indiana Pacers. Are going to open up against the Atlanta Hawks here. NBA action for Monday. This one will be played at 1:40 p.m. Eastern, 10:40 a.m. Pacific time in Atlanta here with the matchup between the Pacers and the Hawks. So this one's moved up to an afternoon contest here for the Pacers. They're a 5-point dog. Total 233 in this one. Atlanta comes in winners of 2 straight with wins over Memphis and Phoenix here. They covered in both as underdogs. They won them. They won them outright. They beat Memphis 124-122 and beat Phoenix 110-103. For Indiana here, they're coming off of that big win over Oklahoma City last time out, 117-114 to snap a 3-game losing streak and, well, keep the Thunder losing there a little bit. You know, Atlanta's been a difficult team to play here this season as a favorite. Just 7-14 against the spread as a favorite for these Hawks. Indiana is 9-13 ATS on the road, but they've covered a few for sure as a dog. 20-19 ATS as a dog this season. Indiana has lost 15 of their last 20 games coming in right now and gone just 1-4 in their last 5 games against the Hawks overall. Hawks come in having won and covered just 2 of their last 6 overall. In fact, the last 2 there after they had that 4-game losing streak. 16 of the last 19 games between these two teams have gone over, but it's going to be hard-pressed for me to want to think that this one might go over here. Yes, Atlanta's had a few more overs than unders this season, but I think just in these roles, you have a Pacers team here that has gone 7-15 to the under on the road. They've also gone under in 8 of their last 10 games. Atlanta's gone under in 7 of their last 10 games overall, and they're 9-12 to the under at home. So, yeah, even though these two teams have been big-time overs, the total's pretty high here. I'm going to end up going under in the game between Indiana and Atlanta. More under action, but why not? Let me hear from you in the chat in this one between the Pacers and the Hawks here on Monday. These two teams did meet once this season already, and it was 128-108. Atlanta got the win on the road as a 2.5-point favorite. Okay, let's see what we've got here in the chat. And let's see here.
Steam play.
Pacers for Cal Dog. We found someone on this game here. And Timmy wants to play the under here. So do I. I want to take under here with these two right now. Maybe, with these this personnel, you could still go over, I guess. But I think the trends kind of favor the under here. It's just that I think if you look on the surface, the teams, they look like like I said, 16 of 19. That's a hard trend to buck in a season series where the two opponents are very, pretty familiar with one another. For the Pacers here, Quentin Jackson is questionable. That's really the only short-term injury really we're seeing here. Atlanta's had a couple of guys out for about a week that do play a role, but let's see here. Anything else with this one? If not, I'll just keep it going here. Mr. Wester's ain't even playing the Hawks when they're favored right now either. After their crummy record as a favorite, Jimmy Chooch's got us a coin flip here, despite that 5-point spread. And Siakam for a couple of threes here, says Jimmy Two Shoes. All right, I'm going to go with the under in this one with Pacers and Atlanta here kicking off the action early on Monday. Next up, Philadelphia 76ers at the Charlotte Hornets. This one, another time change here to 3 p.m. Eastern and noon Pacific, with the Hornets at home favored by 3, 227.5. Charlotte, winners of 2 straight coming in right now, wins over Orlando and Washington. They didn't cover in that game against Washington. Remember, we were on Washington. Charlotte was laying 11.5 in that game. And yes, while the Washington has been pretty bad, going to be hard-pressed to ask the Hornets to win a game by double digits against anybody. For Philadelphia, meanwhile, they are coming in off of a loss to the Knicks, 112-109. They were a dog in that game, but they were only getting 1.5. They've been alternating wins and losses here for the last week and a half or so. For the Hornets here, they are 26-20 ATS this season, but Philadelphia continues to be a terrific team on the road covering the spread. 14-4 ATS on the road for the Sixers. They're also 25-18 overall ATS. Philadelphia has beaten Charlotte in 10 straight meetings between the two teams. So combine that with the fact that they have been a very strong road team. No matter how you look at it, the Sixers have done a pretty good job. That's going to be hard to buck. 5 straight meetings here in Charlotte have been won by the Sixers. Now, Philadelphia is just 2-4 straight up in ATS in the last 6 games overall. Philadelphia has covered 5 of their last 6 on the road in accordance to their current streaks and trends, if you will. Charlotte's dropped 5 of their last 6 games at home overall, but they've been a good cover of late. 12-6 ATS, and the last 18 games have actually won 4 of their last 6 games overall. Charlotte playing some of their best ball here, but this is not their role. So can they get it here? Will Philadelphia prevail? Now, you could argue that Philadelphia might not have a lot of the personnel here that they usually have. No PG, no Embiid here on Monday. Those guys are out. KJ Simpson is out for the Hornets here in this one. So let me hear from you in the chat with this game. Can Philly do it here against Charlotte, a team that they do take care of usually, but Charlotte still gained favoritism at home here, and they're playing pretty well. That's a good contrast here with the Sixers missing their top players. We know those guys have been out, off and on. So, okay, here we go. Timmy Choo-Choo's loving what he's seeing right now from LaMelo. He's going to take his assist prop over there, it looks like. Mr. Wesker is willing to take the Sixers here for sure in this one. Cal Dog on the Sixers with the points as well. And Timmy says, who is out for the Sixers, right? Yeah, the 2 best players on the team. And let's see here. Mr. Wesker is not a big fan of what he's been seeing from Melo lately. And let's see, ton of 3-point attempts, says Timmy Two Shoes. Look, we have some support there for the Sixers. This is a series that they do pretty good in. I'm going to go ahead and take the Sixers here, even though it does feel like the Hornets maybe have turned the corner a little bit with their play here of late. But, man, that is a big trend here for the Sixers, owning this team time and time again. I think it's worth taking them here, plus a few points against Charlotte. Maybe it'll be a close game, but I know the Sharps are going to be on Charlotte, that's for sure. I don't want to say us squares, but I'm going to take the Sixers here. All right, and next up, Going into the prime time now here on Monday night with the Magic taking on the Cavs, 7:10 Eastern, 4:10 Pacific. Getting it rolling here for the regular games and the night action here. Two teams streaking, but in different directions here. This is a Peacock game of the night at Rocket Arena with Cleveland at home. They've won three straight games coming in right now. Wins here for Cleveland over Charlotte, Sacramento, and Orlando. And not the toughest schedule. They actually failed to cover against Sacramento at home as a 13-point favorite. For Orlando here, losers of three straight to Memphis, Charlotte, and Cleveland. They were favored in all three of those games, and they lost outright. So Orlando in a little bit of a funk here for sure right now. They're also not very good, we know, against the number 7-14 ATS on the road, but here they are going up against a fellow poor spread team. Cleveland's a little bit better for sure, 27-20 straight up. Orlando 23-21 straight up. But hey, they are at home here, despite the fact that they're 7-19 against the spread at home, 11-25 against the spread as a favorite. Now they are favored by just 4.5 here. Man, you might have to decide and weigh this one a little bit. These two teams did meet, of course, just a couple of nights ago, and it was 119-105. The Cavs got the win at Orlando as a 1.5-point dog. So got to give it to the Cavs there in the first meeting. They did blow out Orlando here, and they pretty much have owned the series, although the Magic did win a game between them last season. Orlando comes in here just 3-9 ATS in their last 12 games, while Cleveland has maybe turned it around a little bit, 4-2 ATS in their last 6, but they still are 1-5 ATS in their last 6 at home, although they've won 5 of their last 6 games overall. Now Orlando is 1-4 straight up and against the spread against Cleveland here in the last 5 matchups. So just Orlando definitely slipping here at this time. They're falling here to just 2 games over 500 right now. Maybe the Magic still getting it together. For Orlando, you're still missing Franz Wagner here again. He's still having ankle issues, so missing his play here for Cleveland. Merrill is questionable. DeAndre Hunter is questionable as well. Let's see what you've got in the chat here with this one, with the Magic taking on the Cavs. I'm going to strongly consider the Cavaliers here in this one, although they are favored by 5.5 up from 4.5 right now. But let's see what you got. I think the one saving grace maybe for Orlando, if you want to look at it, is they are 5-6. ATS is a dog that's not great, but again, Cleveland just a terrible favorite. ATS. Okay, here we go. Cal Dog is on the Cavs. So is Mr. Weskers. But he says the Magic might cover. So maybe he's taking Cavs to win the game, and the Magic might cover. Got it. All right. I'm going to go ahead and take the Cavs in this one, lay 5.5 points against a struggling Orlando team right now. Give me Cleveland. Maybe they've turned the corner. They're supposed to be a little bit better than they have been all season, right? And they are on a bit of a winning streak, and Orlando's going the other direction. They'd have to turn it around immediately here tomorrow to turn the tables on the Cavs. All right, the Memphis Grizzlies are going to be on the road here, taking on the Houston Rockets. NBA action for Monday night. Hopefully all these games get played. Some of them are sitting in the line of fire, it feels like, but hopefully we're warming up and thawing out. For Houston here, they've been playing pretty well of late. They're coming in here off of a win over Detroit, 111-104. They pulled off that win on the road as a 4.5-point dog. They did lose to Philly before that, but again, they've been a little bit hotter here of late than their opponent, the Memphis Grizzlies. for Houston here in this one. They have won 4 out of their last 5. They're still just 3-9 ATS in their last 12 games overall. But Memphis has not been a great cover, and they have not been winning very many games, period, right now. They're on a 2-game losing streak at home here to Atlanta and New Orleans. Can't be losing games at home to teams like that if you're going to be turning around. Memphis here just 8-17 ATS as an underdog. They're 8-12 ATS on the road. They've failed to cover in 4 of their last 5 coming in and have lost 9 of their last 12. Also, Memphis just 1-4 ATS in their last 5 against the Rockets. Overall, these teams met in November at Memphis. Houston won at 124-109 in that game as a 7.5 point favorite in that one. Were the Rockets, and they got the money. So let's hear from you in the chat here with Memphis taking on the Rockets here on Monday night. Go to the chat and see what you have here. Just a couple comments here on this one. Cal Dog says, just too many points, but he'll take the over here. And Timmy says the Rockets at home. He'll look for them to pull this one off in the end. A pretty big number there, right? Even against a Memphis team that, not covered many numbers, but the Rockets haven't been great either. But still getting the number in this series usually has been the Rockets. I'm going to go ahead and take Houston here in a blowout. I take them by double digits. Give me the Rockets in this one to blow out Memphis on Monday night. The Los Angeles Lakers are on the road taking on the Chicago Bulls. NBA action for Monday night, 8:10 Eastern, 5:10 Pacific. The Lakers coming in here 27-17 right now. They're off of a win and have won 3 of their last 4. Just when you want to bury the Lakers, here they come again, just like they did the other night against the Dallas Mavericks. Pretty much left for dead late in the game, down by 10 with under 5 minutes to play. The Lakers rallied and went right on by the Mavericks, and not only that, they cover the number as well in that contest. This is a fourth straight road game for the Lakers here. They are a favorite in this one. Against Chicago here. Chicago 13-10 against the spread at home. Lakers 13-11 against the spread on the road. Lakers come in right now having gone just 2-6 in the last 8 matchups with the Chicago Bulls and 2-4 against the spread overall. Bulls have been playing well. 5-1 straight up in their last 6, 4-1 ATS in their last 5 games. They've won here over Boston last time out, 114-111 as a 3.5 point dog at home. They won at Minnesota before that, and wallop the Clippers here too. So the Bulls are playing pretty darn well with 5-game home winning streak. 7 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams have gone over. They have not yet met, however, this season. Lakers have gone under in 5 of their last 7 on the road and 4 of their last 5 overall coming into this one. So let's see if you guys have a play here. Lakers coming in, playing well, but the Bulls playing a little bit better here right now. Overall, Bulls come in here just 23-22. Lakers with the better record. And here we go with the chat. Mr. Westers likes the Bulls here for a 2-unit play. And Timmy Chushu says he likes the Lakers here. They've won him over here with their great play. I think that's what he's saying. Yeah. And Cal Dog likes the under here with the Lakers and the Bulls this time around. Yeah, look, I think if you look at the total with these two right now, you'd have to say that maybe, the trends favor the under here. Mentioned the Lakers and their recent under trends. The series is what would concern me, but again, they just meet twice a year, but still 7 of the last 8's got to be a little bit notable, especially when these two teams aren't necessarily big-time under teams, although Lakers 10-14 to the under on the road, and the Bulls are 9-15 to the under at home. So kind of buying into what Cal Dog is saying there a little bit. And hello to Devin in the chat. Good to have Devin joining us here on Night Moves. All right. I will take the Bulls here in this one to win at home over the Lakers right now. I think the Bulls are playing well. Lakers doing pretty good too. I think, uh, everyone, just when you think the Lakers are throwing the clunker, that's when they show up, it feels like here. But yeah, in this toss up game, I'm going to take the Bulls. All right, the Portland Trailblazers going to take on the Boston Celtics here in a battle of two teams that are playing pretty well here. Portland's actually the team playing a little bit better than Boston here of late, although they are coming in off of a loss here last time out to Toronto, 110-98. That stopped their 4-game winning streak. They lost that one at home. So they head out here on the road all the way to the east to take on the Celtics. Boston comes in here off of the loss to the Bulls the other night, 114-111. We mentioned there at Chicago. But for the Blazers here, they're 18-11 against the spread as an underdog this season, although just 11-11 against the spread on the road. Boston, meanwhile, 25-20 against the spread this season. Boston comes in here having won 13 of their last 19 overall and have gone 4-2 against the spread their last 6 games. For Portland here, not only have they won 4 of their last 5, they've covered 4 of their last 5. The one loss last game snapped that 4-game win and cover streak. Portland just 1-5-1 against the spread versus the Celtics over the last few years here, but the teams already have played their first meeting of the season. Portland won it at home, 114-108 as a 6.5-point dog. So see what you got here in this one, Portland and Boston here. I'll go to the chat and see what you guys have to say. All right. Oh, Devin says, oh, that's great. Everyone going crazy up there in Seattle. Wow. It's going to be great to see the Seahawks back in the Super Bowl. All right. Timmy says, give him the Celtics, please. Cal Dog says, buy it down in this one. Take the Celtics, but take it down to 7.5. And let's see here. Ain't playing the Trailblazers out east. It's just too much. As good as they've been, maybe going on the road here a little bit. Like I said, they're just a 50-50 proposition on the road, despite all those covers. Usually they're home dogs, but Mr. Westwood says it's hard to lay points with these Celtics. They're just 10-10 against the spread at home. It is, Boston has dominated the series, though, no doubt about it. But I think the fact that Portland got over the hump a little bit with that win in the first meeting, that builds a little bit of confidence here. All right, I think that's it. I'm going to go ahead and take the Blazers here in this one. Give me Portland plus the points against Boston here on Monday night. All right, the Warriors are going to take on the Timberwolves here. Action on Monday night in Minnesota. We saw the Prince theme uniforms and court there on Sunday night. They're going to play back-to-back here after the postponement on Saturday. They were able to get that game off there without much of a hitch there in the game at Minnesota last night. They did pay tribute to that citizen that was killed there on Saturday night, but there was no mention, I noticed, of saluting the hardworking federal officers. You'd think they'd play it at 50-50, wouldn't you? All right, enough of the politics. Let's get into this one here with the Warriors and the Timberwolves tonight. Got the Timberwolves here favored by 7.5 following last night's win by the Warriors. They really did club them there last night. Wasn't much of a contest, really. 111-85. They walloped them there. Golden State came through on the road. Minnie was really a no-show in the third quarter as the Warriors outscored the Timberwolves 38-17 to take control in that game. The Warriors are showing good life here of late. They've won 5 of their last 7 overall, going 5-2 ATS. Minnesota's on a 5-game losing streak right now, going just 1-4 against the spread. They've not only lost to the Warriors there, but also losses to Chicago and Utah. They did cover at San Antonio as a dog, but right now they're just having some issues here, and they're having to lay the points. Now, it is going to be a back-to-back, so let's see what happens with Steph Curry here in this one. He is probable. DeAnthony Melton is out of this game. Al Horford's out of this game. Kuminga's still, he's not even playing, but he's listed on the injured list here, so can the Wolves just turn the tide on these guys with the back-to-back here in this one? Or are the Wolves just playing poorly enough that even winning the game might be tough enough here, much less cover 7.5 points? That was a real blowout yesterday. I mean, when you figure a 26-point loss, maybe they could bounce back. The Wolves had dominated the Warriors heading into that game. They've, like I said, won most of the series here between the two. But, hey, the Wolves have gone under in 11 of their last 13 games at home coming in. They're 7-16 to the under at home overall. 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two have gone over. The Warriors are definitely a big time over this season at 14-9. But, last night's game went under, and even though the Warriors are 28-19 to the over this season, they are just 5-7 to the under as a dog. So I'm going to take the under here in this one, despite maybe the fact that overall the trends may favor an over here, especially because of the Warriors. But we'll see. Wolves are going to need to step it up here if they're going to get this one just to win. Let's see what you have in the chat. These two teams also met in December back at Golden State, and it was 127-120. Minnesota won as a 4.5-point dog. Lots of comments here on this game. Let's see what we've got with this one. All right. Warriors against the spread here for Mr. Weskers. Warriors to run it back since Cal Dog. And let's see. Timmy says they had, DiVincenzo and Edwards were fine, but the bench not so much. I think that's what you see there. All right, and let's see. T-Wolves retaliation. Reed to hit the threes. How about that? And Cal Dog says these Warriors are playing better without Jimmy, right? Well, there you go. Good point. All right, and Timmy Tusha says, look, this one does feel like nobody wins both games there. We're going to have a comeback here for the Wolves maybe on Monday night. Yeah, I don't know, but I just don't know if they'll maybe get the money here, but I'm going to go ahead and just take the under. Right, that's it for the NBA. Good NBA card there on Monday of 7 games. So, like I said, hopefully they all get played. We're going to need all these games here on Monday with the, kind of an abbreviated card. So let's go to college basketball and see so hopefully we get these games played as well here on Monday. And I want to run through a few games here. I've even picked a few mid-major games out, or the lower conferences for sure here on Monday. Mostly postponements for sure in most of these games. Right now, I'm showing here on Monday night. Right now, 13 games have been postponed on Monday, but we still got a few in there we can look at. Let's get to it and see what we got.
Urgent message. Major line move.
All right, I'm going to look first here at Lemoyne. Taking on Fairleigh Dickinson. Oh, look, I just think this game here is worth a look here. If we're going to look at any mid-majors here, I think this might be one of the better ones here. Like I said, we're just desperate for some games, and hey, we do want to cover some of these here this season. So let's go to the Northeast Conference. And, great thing with the NEC, you can get this one on NEC Front Row. Just download it to your Fire Stick, and you can watch NEC games for free. There's no charge, there's no service, unless it is a farmed out game. NEC always available. If it's not a ESPN Plus game, you can get it. And again, I don't know some of these schedules here with the game shifting around. These are originally scheduled games, by the way. Although those all those postponements were also regularly scheduled games here. So let's get into it in the Northeast Conference here right now. Fairleigh Dickinson and Lemoyne. Lemoyne in second place, one game back of Long Island here in the standings. Fairleigh Dickinson at 4-3, and they're at home. So I think that evens up the matchup here right away between Lemoyne and Fairleigh Dickinson here. Action for Monday evening. This one at 7 p.m. East. Let's see if we got that right. Yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Pacific in this one with Lemoyne on the road. Coming in here 10-10 overall. Winners of 3 straight wins over Chicago State, Long Island, and Wagner. They're getting numbers too. 8-4 against the spread on the road. Here, FDU, though, they're pretty hot of late as well. Back-to-back wins over Wagner and Central Connecticut. They covered both those games. 7-3 ATS in their last 10 games. Coming in is Fairleigh Dickinson. Let's see what you guys have here in this one. Lemoyne comes in here. Winners of 4 of their last 5 overall. They've covered the spread in 6 of their last 9 games coming in overall. Fairleigh Dickinson, though, 4-1 ATS in their last 5. They are just 7-13 straight up this season. As we said, Fairleigh Dickinson has gone under in 6 of their last 7 at home. Lemoyne's gone under in 9 of their last 11 on the road. So definitely seeing these two teams here putting up a lot of unders for sure. All right, let's see what you got here. Picked out a game to start us off, and I want to see if you guys are on it with me here. Lemoyne and Fairleigh Dickinson, the action here on Monday. Let's go into the chat here and see if you like this one as I picked out. All right. Fairleigh Dickinson for Mr. Westers here, maybe to turn it around a little bit. Again, not terrible against a number overall. Lemoyne might be a little bit better, but again, right now, Lemoyne sitting there right atop the standings here a little bit, playing a little bit better. All right. Fairleigh Dickinson, Cal Dog is on Lemoyne, so a little two-way action here. It feels like in this one. I better just take the under here. We got 2 of our stalwarts in the chat taking each side. I got to go under. Look, like I said, you got not only both these teams in these roles here. Under Fairleigh Dickinson 1-6 to the under at home here, and Lemoyne 2-9 to the under on the road. These two teams combined 13-23 to the under this season. Lemoyne's actually 3-9 overall to the under on the road, 2-6 to the under as a favorite, and Fairleigh Dickinson 4-7 to the under as a dog. In addition to that, 1-4 to the under at home this season. So give me the under here in this one at 142.5. All right. Well, we got to go over it. We won't have that many games, so let's just go over the big, the decent matchups here for sure. Go to the ACC with Louisville taking on Duke here between ranked teams. This is a game of the night for sure. You got number 5 ranked Duke coming in here hot on a winning streak right now. Meanwhile, Louisville, they're ranked 23rd. They've won 2 straight coming into this one. Duke, of course, atop the standings, 7-0 right now. Louisville 4-3, doing a pretty nice job. They'll probably go turn to the tournament, of course, and you got Louisville with back-to-back wins here over Pittsburgh and Virginia Tech. Louisville just an underdog for the third time this season. They are 0-2 ATS as an underdog. Meanwhile, for Duke here, coming in with a win over Wake Forest last time out, 80-69, as Duke keeps rolling here right now for Duke. They've won 7 straight, gone 4-1 ATS in the last 5 overall. Louisville 14-5 in their 19 games, and also just 1-5 against the spread overall. And also Louisville 0-4-1 ATS against Duke. They'd already met this season at Louisville. Duke won it 84-73 as a 1.5 point favorite. It's been all Duke in this series over the last couple of years. So they are laying 7.5 here at home to the Ville. Louisville's gone under in 8 of their last 10 overall and 7-12 to the under this season. They did go under in both of those roles as an underdog. Duke does trend to the under here, 7-12 to the under overall, 5-9 to the under as a favorite here. And 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Louisville's gone under in 5 of their last 6. I'm going to take the Duke Blue Devils here to roll against Louisville on Monday night. Let's hear from you in the chat, see what you have here with Louisville and Duke. Cal Dog is on Duke here. Timmy Two Shoes says he'll take Duke. He likes Louisville, but not in this one. Mr. Westwood says Louisville always crushes him. Let's go to the Big Ten now and take Penn State on the road, taking on Ohio State. Penn State just 9-10 here right now. So far, taking a look here at the Big Ten standings. Penn State, down at the bottom. They're 0-8. It's been kind of the talk here, this losing streak that the Nittany Lions are on. Meanwhile, for the Bucks, they do come in here 5-4. It's tough to pick a Penn State game here the way they're going, but with limited action here today. The Nittany Lions are on this 6-game losing streak here right now, but they have covered 10 of the last 15 games against the Bucks overall, despite dropping 8 of the last 12 meetings between the two teams. The two teams did meet already this season. Ohio State won at College Station 83-64 as a 3.5 point underdog in that game, but Penn State still just 7-12 against the spread overall this season, but Ohio State's 5-8 against the spread as a favorite. Buckeyes have won 13 of 19 this season. They're also 10-2 straight up at home, but just a 6-7 spread record. 9 of the last 12 meetings between these two teams have gone over, but the last one did go under. That win by Ohio State, win and cover there on the road. Still got to lay 12.5 here in this one. Let's see what you got here. Penn State and Ohio State, Big Ten action with big old 12.5 point spread there, total 154. I'm going with the over here in this one. Give me the over tonight with Penn State and Ohio State. Look, the trends don't necessarily say that with Ohio State, but I think with Penn State overall, the gradual overs here a little bit has me on the over in this one. What I mean by that is you had the last 2 games did go over here in losses for Penn State to Wisconsin and Maryland. They were underdogs in both those games, and they went over. They also went over in their loss to Purdue, 93-85 as a 21.5 point dog. So that one kind of represented the most there with a big spread, and they were able to cover. So let's see what you got. Timmy's going under, though, here. Mr. Wester says, I cannot lay 12.5 points. Devin says, got a feeling Penn State can finally get this number. Maybe it is just big enough to get there. Devin says a lot of points. Cal Dog says he's going to take Penn State plus 14. He's going to buy it up a little bit. All right, I'll go over in that one. Okay, I'm going to sneak this one in with UTRGV against Texas A&M Corpus Christi here. Action for Monday. Look, we can take a look at this one for sure with the two decent game, important game right now in this one in the Southland standings here currently. Uh, do have here Corpus Christi 7-4. We know that Stephen F. Austin and McNeese are well ahead here, but just a good game here between these two, closely rated in the ratings here. Corpus Christi comes in 7-4 in conference play. Rio Grande Valley is 5-6, but overall, these are uh, decent records for these clubs overall. You do have Rio Grande Valley 9-11 overall. Corpus Christi comes in 11-9, but UTRGV has won 3 straight games here right now over McNeese, over Southeast Louisiana, and Houston Christian. So good run here by UTRGV, playing pretty well actually. Corpus Christi, meanwhile, they've won 3 of their last 4 games. You guys have the wrong Christie in the chat. That's what's going. That's what's going on. For Corpus Christi here, they're coming in off of a win over Incarnate Word, 79-71 on the road. They lost to McNeese by 16 points as an 11.5-point dog, but they beat Sela and they beat East Texas A&M recently here. For Corpus Christi, they're 1-3 ATS at home so far this season, and they're also 4-2 to the over as a favorite. So let's see if you have any interest here in this one with me. I know I'm picking out a few different teams that we haven't really looked at here on Night Moves, I don't think, this season, but still a decent enough game, I thought, to look at here. Rio Grande Valley has lost 6 of the last 9 meetings to Corpus Christi overall. Corpus Christi, 6-2 straight up at home this season, 16-3 in their last 19 games at home. They're usually pretty strong. In Rio Grande Valley, just 3-7 straight up on the road. But again, this is a real good surge for them. We really haven't seen this from Rio Grande Valley. Despite going 4-2 in their last 6 games, though, they are just 3-6 ATS in their last 9 games. So let's see what you have. 11 of the last 16 meetings between these two teams have gone under. They did play their first meeting already this season, earlier this month, and Corpus Christi won it 63-59. The Islanders were 2.5-point dogs in that one. So see what you got here with this matchup, Corpus Christi and Rio Grande Valley. We're going to tackle them all here on Night Moves, of course, with me here. Let's see what you got in the chat. All right, let's see here. Looks like a special one for Ace Rothstein here. Maybe I'm reminding Timmy Two Shoes of good old Ace Rothstein. All right. Cal Dog on Corpus Christi here. Timmy says he might take the under based on this total. Yeah, I mean, this series is pretty hardcore under, it feels like, overall. I don't think we've seen any true patterns, but that first game did go under, just 122 points in that one. And this series is kind of a dead solid under here. It is a kind of a low total here, though, at 132.5. Here, I'm going to take Corpus Christi in this one to turn it around over Rio Grande Valley. Yeah, Rio Grande Valley's been hot, but Corpus Christi usually very, very solid at home. I'm going to take Corpus Christi here in this one. All right, we got one more here. Let's go back to another good game. Let's who's kidding who here? With number 1 Arizona, one of 3 undefeated teams left in the country. They're 20-0. Going in here to BYU. Wow. AJ DeBonsa ready to go against uh, uh, Koa Pete, matchup of two elite freshmen here for the action on Monday. This is must see. This is the game of the night. Who am I kidding here with these two? Of course, Arizona 7-0, but BYU is 5-1 in conference play here right now. And look, DeBonsa, I don't know if he's conference player of the year so far. It's got to be right there. I mean, obviously, you have Jefferson of Iowa State. You have Flemings of Houston. He had an incredible game, too, the other night. Between those three freshmen on Saturday night, man, there was some incredible scoring there. Flemings of Houston as well. So, all right, let's see what you got, though, here with this matchup. Obviously, Arizona hasn't lost yet. These two teams have not met yet, of course, this season. Arizona comes in 13-7 against the spread overall, 6-1 against the spread on the road. For BYU, they are 6-7 against the spread at home. BYU comes in just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games overall. Arizona comes in 10-4 against the spread in their last 14. BYU's covered 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two, but these two teams, they met last year. BYU got the win 96-95 at Arizona. There, I got to take BYU in this one to stop Arizona's winning streak. I think AJ DeBonsa. This is the game. We all know about him already, but on a high-profile matchup here against Arizona, Arizona, they're the team that's ranked number 1 in the country. BYU, not lying in the shadows a little bit here, but I'm going to go with BYU at home. Look, they're the 13th ranked team. They're only a 1.5 dog. I'm not saying the line's telling you which team is going to win here. I'm not sure. This is going to be a great game, but I'm going to try the Y in this one over Arizona in the big game on Monday night. No one's going to go undefeated this year, not in today's landscape of college basketball. I'm sure Arizona could. They might even lose a couple of more here. You look at their schedule right now, and not only do they play here, BYU on the road, they also go on the road to Kansas. Kansas has turned it around here a little bit of late. They got to play at Houston later on this season as well. And they do get their only matchup against Iowa State will be at Tucson. But okay, let's see who's going to do it. Who's going with me, or who is going with the Cats? All right, let's see here. Devin says, man, we're having a fast show tonight for once, huh? And Mr. Wesker's not going to fade BYU at home. That's what he said in the chat. I'm paraphrasing. And Timmy, right, we were talking about those unders last night. Could have just, I guess, broad brushed it and just went under in every game. I don't do that, but certainly I've been under a lot in a lot of these NBA games of late for sure. And it felt like yesterday was another one, but there was a couple of overs there for sure. I mean, the Detroit game, big time over there, but after that, I think they were all. Oh, the Clippers! I lost that one too. I went under, and it actually went over. Right, Devin's got Arizona here, and Mr. Westwood says, "Don't forget, Ramon, about that game against Florida. Man, that was a season opener, though." Arizona for victory number 21, says Cal Dog. Here's an over for Timmy Two Shoes. All right, I'm going to peek at that total there too a little bit. Didn't really touch on that too much, but for these two teams, like I said, I don't think there's anything too descriptive about it here in this one, but I think I agree, Timmy. Zona will figure a way to shut down DeBonsa. Well, I mean, yeah, I think no doubt when you got a Coach Lloyd here can figure this out. Okay, Timmy thinks it'll be a good game. And there's Bird in the chat. Hello to Bird. He says, heck of a call, Ramon. You're going with there. I think that's what he's saying. You're going with BYU. Real Deal Prime. Man, good to see Real Deal Prime here today in the chat. All right. And that's it from you guys in the chat. Let's go to the NHL. I've got 5 games to look at, and then Night Moves is over. Yeah, it's going to be a 1-hour show here tonight. We did go over the 45 minutes, so I think. Okay, here we go. Let's start it off in the NHL. Our 5-game card here on Monday, all in prime time. In fact, 4 of the games starting here at 7:07 Eastern and 4:07 Pacific time with the Mammoth on the road here, taking on those Lightning. Man, the Lightning certainly playing well, but Utah's playing their best hockey of the season again, or maybe their best for sure. But a winning streak here right now has got Utah pretty fired up as they come in. Now, we know Tampa Bay has been pretty awesome too, but they are coming in off of a loss here last time out to Columbus a couple of nights ago. It was 8-5. They got blasted in that game. Now, like I said, Tampa here. Look, I kind of want to get on Tampa a little bit, maybe to win the Stanley Cup, but 6 or 7-1 right now. I'm just not sure that the price is right, if you know what I mean here. So, but in this game, I might be on Utah. Let's see what you guys have here with this matchup. But for Utah, they come in here with this 5-game winning streak right now. They have lost 8 of the last 12 meetings, this franchise anyway, to Tampa Bay over the last 6 years. Tampa Bay's won 14 of their last 16. They've won 5 straight at home. 7 of the last 10 meetings between these two franchises have gone over. But right now, Utah's gone under in 5 of their last 7 games overall. They're 12-15 to the under on the road. Tampa's 22-19. However, the over is a favorite. I'm not going to fool around any with this total, I don't think. I'm going with the Mammoth here. I'm going to take Utah as a dog here in this one over Tampa Bay. Hey, I'm still on Tampa Bay long term, but I'm really impressed by what Utah is doing right now. And I think at this price, I'm going to take them again here. Give me Utah in this one. Cal Dog says Mammoth until they fall off. Kimmy Choo Shoes has a scoring prop in here. That might be it from you guys in that one. All right, the LA Kings are on the road taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets here. Both teams have won 2 in a row right now. The Kings coming in off of a win over the Blues, 5-4. These were close games. They won that one in a shootout. Before that, they beat the Rangers 4-3 at home. But the Kings are getting back to a little bit of winning here of late. But the Blue Jackets are actually favored. Columbus comes in here off a pair of wins over Tampa Bay, of course, as we mentioned, and then before that they beat Dallas, so pretty good. Columbus here, 13-8 at home this season. The Kings are a good road team, 13-6 on the road. We've talked about them quite a bit. The Kings, however, though, have lost 6 of their last 9 overall. They've won 6 of the last 9 against Columbus, but the Kings have had their struggles, and Columbus has been hot at home, and we've been kind of riding them a little bit for sure. They've won 6 of their last 7, including 4 of their last 5 at home. Columbus has actually won 4 of the last 6 meetings over the Kings at home, despite the fact the Kings probably mostly win their home games against the Blue Jackets. Kings have gone over in 10 of their last 14 games overall, including 4 of their last 5 on the road. Columbus, meanwhile, has gone under in 4 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams. They did meet in their other game back in December. Columbus won it on the road 3-1 over the Kings. Columbus 10-5 to the over as a favorite, and the Kings 6-11 to the under as a dog. And I don't know if this one's going to be moving to the Kings' favor here. I'm taking the Columbus Blue Jackets to win over the Kings here on Monday night. All right, Mr. Right, I'm with you, Mr. Wesker. Do the Kings ever win? Yeah, they're on a 2-game winning streak right now. Look, they didn't really play that well in those games, but they did get it done against the Rangers and St. Louis. But they lost those 2 games to Anaheim. Feels like Anaheim has passed up the Kings a little bit. They passed them in the standings, but right now, but just in general, because the Kings do play better on the road, though, no doubt about it. Werenski for a goal, says Timmy. Cal Dogs on the Kings, though. All right, we got another good one here. The Islanders on the road taking on the Flyers. Islanders have lost 2 straight here to Seattle and Buffalo last time out. They've been outscored 9-1 in those 2 games. Philly, meanwhile, off of a win at Colorado impressively, 7-3 in that game. They outscored the Avalanche 4-0 in the third period to grab that win. Looks like Sorokin and Vladar in here. Philly's done a nice job as a 12-8 at home. But Islanders, meanwhile, 13-10 on the road. These 2 teams met back in November. Philadelphia got the win at the Isles, 4-3 in that one. For Philly here, they come in right now in the matchup, having lost 7 of their last 9 games overall and 4 of their last 5 games at home. Islanders, meanwhile, have dropped 4 of their last 6 coming in, but they have lost to Philadelphia in 4 of the last 6 meetings as well. Islanders have gone 5-12 to the under on the road. Been going under quite a bit, especially in conference play. Philadelphia, meanwhile, those gone over in 5 of their last 6, and 5 of the last 7 meetings between the 2 teams have gone over. I'm going to take the Islanders here on the road in this one. Give me the Isles to win at Philadelphia here on Monday night. I think Philadelphia just over this stretch here, losing 7 of their last 9. They're starting to slip here, if you think, a little bit. Let's see. Cal Dog's going to go with the Flyers, but he does like the Islanders. And I think Timmy Tucci is going to go with the under in this one. I think so. I'm going to lay off here at this time, but Philly is still 30-20 to the over this season. But as a favorite, they're just 7-9 to the under, and the Islanders are 11-15 to the under on the road. And you got Sorokin here, who I continue to kind of tout here as one of the top goalies in the league. The numbers might not say so, but 2.51 goals against, 16-12 overall. But his metrics, if you will, indicate that he is pretty strong here. His average goals against, his expected goals against are a little bit higher, or much higher actually, than the numbers say. Here's Mr. Weskers, says the Islanders have been pretty good to him. All right, I'm taking the Isles here in this one. All right, one more at 7 Eastern here with the Bruins on the road. I don't know if Quick is going to be in this game. I think the Rangers here, we'll see what they do in the goaltending, but this one really fell up in the air. Boston has won 2 straight coming in. They've been the much hotter team here of late. Boston with back-to-back wins over BGK and Montreal. They were both at home. Rangers, meanwhile, just came home after a 4-game road trip that took them out west for 3 games, and they lost them all to Anaheim, LA, and San Jose. The Rangers are just 5-13 at home right now, still in last place. Boston just 11-12 on the road. Where's the line? Where's the line, you guys? Let me bring it up here. Sorry about that. Bruins $1.20, 6.5. There we go. Bruins $1.20 and 6.5 here in this one. Look, the Rangers are so bad. The Sharps are going to take the Rangers in this one. I don't have any doubt here, but I can't do it. Not the way we're seeing this right now. Boston, again, one of the most profitable teams in the league so far this season. Boston right now, yes, mostly at home. They are much stronger, but they're up 12.5 units so far this season. The Rangers, meanwhile, are down 11 1/3 units so far. So that's a big gap, man. And I'm going to have to take the Boston Bruins here on the road. Yes, Rangers, remember, their best performances have come on the road for the most part this season. Boston is a favorite here. They are 10-5 as a favorite. The Rangers have gone under in 7 of 15 at home. I'm sorry, in 15 of 22 at home. But Boston is a little bit of an over team on the road. So, but torn a little bit on the total here, it feels like right now. So I'm just going to take Boston on the side here. Boston's won 8 of their last 9 games coming in. They've struggled against the Rangers, having lost 6 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams overall. And they did meet here just 2 weeks ago. Boston won, remember, 10-2 with Quick in goal. And I think that's why they might not want Quick in there. Shouldn't really matter, but the teams also met back in November at Boston. The Rangers won that one 6-2. Rangers have lost 6 of their last 7 at home. So I got to take Boston here at a modest $1.20 price in this one. Cal Dogs on Boston here. Timmy's got the Zibanejad and Geeky anytime goal. Son Geeky finally, Timmy asks every time, when's Geeky going to get going? But we did see him step it up here, I guess, of late. That's what they tell me anyway. And maybe Cal Dog will be in goal instead of Quick here on Monday. It could be a lot of penalty minutes. Oh, boy. All right. That'll make the game worth watching. Great call, Timmy Two Shoes. I'll be watching for that. All right, I got one more here on the ice, and then Night Moves is over. Next up, going out west for this one between the Ducks and the Oilers here. Good game. Big spread. I guess the Ducks have just all of a sudden fallen off the map here, despite this incredible streak that they're on right now, and the Oilers will just wipe them out. Don't even pay attention to it. Minus 250? Come on, what's going on here? The Oilers haven't been that special. Now, they have won 4 of the last 5 meetings at home against Anaheim, and they've also won 11 of the last 15, but we know this Anaheim club is built different this time around. Yes, they are coming in off of another win over Detroit, and they did play last night, so that is a big factor. It was on the road at Calgary, so now you travel up to Edmonton here. But Edmonton also played 2 nights ago at home, beat Washington 6-5 in overtime. Edmonton hasn't played that great in these last couple of games. They got blasted by Pittsburgh. They lost at home to New Jersey. Anaheim's 19-17 has an underdog. As a puck line dog, they're 23-13. Edmonton's 16-29 is a puck line favorite. That's not awful. But I think it's kind of equal here. And also, though, Edmonton just 8-17 on the puck line at home. Not always a dog at I would say not always a favorite, but they are 250. Come on. What is the puck line price? At least I got to be on the Ducks here with this winning streak. Both these teams. Also look at the total here: 7 under 20. Most books right now are using the 7 here. You obviously have Anaheim, the biggest over team in the league. They are 17-11 to the over on the road. 33-19 to the over overall, but 13-3 to the over as a favorite. Here they're a dog, but still you have Edmonton 17-8 to the over at home, but just 23-22 to the over as a favorite. So this is not necessarily, if it was the other way around, I think, and the Ducks were at home, like maybe they have to be a favorite in the game, but this, it still leans over, but it's more overs in the other role, if you know what I mean. When the Oilers are either on the road as a dog or the Ducks are at home, those are more likely to be over games in this matchup. It's just that both teams are, combined 63-42 to the over. So I think that's what you're seeing here. Doesn't matter. I'm going to take the Ducks as the pick. But this one, maybe it reeks an over just because of the way things are going. But if I had to kind of look at it below the surface, if you will, I think it'd be like, maybe this is the one where you do go under. And if it was at the Ducks, maybe it would be an over 7. Right, a little bit tougher for the Ducks maybe to score on the road, but I'm gonna take them. Okay, here we go. Hope I explained that right. Not that I need to tell you guys anything. I'm trying to convince myself. Cal Dogs on the Ducks on the puck line. That's what I gotta do. Give me the Ducks here. Price right now. Look, I think the price shows that it'll still be a close game despite $2.50. You got to lay $1.15 kind of with the Ducks. Right now, and I'm actually showing some of the square books a little bit higher than $2.50. All right. Timmy says, what, Ramon, maybe it's the goalie. Maybe the fact that you have Ville Husso in here is the real problem. He is likely to be in here today for sure. Husso, 6-4-1 in the net, 3.07 with an 89% save percentage. And quote was that they were leaning towards having him here in this game. Cal Dog on the under, and Timmy says the Oilers to rake them. I'll take them on the puck line, though. Give me the Ducks. Are hot. Go Ducks. All right, it's going to do it here for Night Moves. Really appreciate everyone joining me here on the show. And had a great time with you guys. Thank you to the chat pros in there for guiding me along here for over an hour of sports betting talk for Monday, January 26th. We'll be back tomorrow with more Night Moves. Hey, I want to invite everyone to head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. This is where we got our best bets every day over at Tony's Picks. You can get my picks over there. Just missed on the props here a little bit from a winning day on Sunday. Let's go over there and take a look at I'll highlight myself a little bit here, but couldn't quite get it home there last night. Just missed. Let me take a look at the numbers here. Just missed on my prop in the game here. Let me take a look here, show them off a little bit. There we go. So we had winner here with Kenneth Walker over on his receiving yards, and man, he did tear it up with the Charbonnet out of there, and Olani was as advertised there, wasn't he? I did say here they have a nice I said the Hawks have a nice backup in Holani, but he makes his return after being sidelined for 8 weeks, but he was good. Walker did get the work there. Rashid Shaheed, I took him over 4.5 rushing yards. I knew he was good for that one reverse. He did get the reverse call, but he got 0 yards on the play and was run out of bounds there. So missed it on that one. I took Puka over 7.5 receptions, and boy, was Puka Nakua. Yes, Jackson Smith and Jigba was the big star, but they kept going to Puka late, and they got it done. And then here's the one. Oh, man, R.J. Harvey. I had over 22.5 receiving yards, and he had 22. So just missed there on that one. And Hunter Henry did get I think he only got 3 targets, didn't have the catch in there. So a little bit of a split there. Let's see who cappers that did well yesterday over at Tony'sPicks.com. We had Jorge with a couple of wins here, but hit a big underdog in there. He had doubles with a winning day. Bowdon, another winning day upon his return here to start off well. Nick in there with some wins, and Mills had 5 winners on the day. Good job to the team over the last 7 days. Bo, welcome back, and he's 7-2 so far. You got Joey Tron up there, Nick as well, Tony T having a winning week, and Alninos. Over the last 30 days, you got Mr. Bittler on top, 8.5 units there. Ron Hahn up 6 3/4 units, and the VIP account as well, and Al Ninos pulling his own. Click on the All Cappers tab, find the handicapper of your choice, click on their handicapper profile page, and that's how you get signed up. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout, save 15% off all those premium pick packages, including mine. You can click on the upcoming tab to find the latest games for everyone here on on Monday. And remember, there's daytime action in the NBA with a couple of games, so be ready for those. All right, once again, thank you to everyone in the chat, and we will be back tomorrow with more night moves here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. I want to thank everyone for joining me here. And for Tony'sPicks.com, I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Night Moves.